2024 has had a lot of big anime game releases, including Bandai's godlike three-peat with Gundam Breaker 4, Sword Art Online Fractured Daydream, and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, but I think the smaller publishers have had a strong showing this year too. Bushiroad had a solid output despite Macross being a jumbled mess. Big Side's take on Yohane the Parhelion was apparently successful enough that they could justify dropping $200 worth of DLC in the first 8 months. Spike Chunsoft finally did everyone a favor and brought the first 2 quintessential quintuplets games to the West. And we got a whole bunch of random stuff too, like the Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs game finally coming to the West after 5 years, and the helpful Fox Senko-san getting a game, for some reason. But the game on this side that intrigued me the most was Shinchan, Shiro, and the Coal Town. If you're not familiar with Shinchan, it follows the daily life of 5-year-old Shinosuke Nohara and his family, his parents Hiroshi and Misae, his baby sister Himawari, and his dog Shiro. Although the series is a goofy slice of life manga, the movies sometimes get into some off-the-wall shit. If you want a better idea of the vibe that the game's going for, check out one of the movies. Now, in the game, Shiro wanders off in the middle of the night, comes across a mining town, and gets Shinosuke involved in a plot to save the town from the founder's descendants. It's an old ways versus tech bros story where you can clearly tell the tech bro is going about things wrong. I don't want to go into too much detail regarding the story because more than what I already said might be a little too spoilerific, but the bad guy was kinda wildin' this time. Gameplay boils down to 3 mechanics: catching bugs, gathering materials, and fishing. That's how you get the items you need to advance the story. You only have a certain amount of time each day to do your business. Day gives you the longest time, evening gives you less than half the time, and night is about as long as evening, but it restricts where you can go because, remember, he's 5. Each time of day has exclusive items like the fireflies that can only be found at night. Aside from just advancing the story, the items you gather can be used for various purposes. Kazuko pays for fireflies, Yuri uses the materials you collect for her experiments, Yosoi cooks, and so on. Super simple, but it's chill. My only issues with the game are the 4 kids that block off parts of the village are annoying, and I see a lot of stuttering. The game isn't that demanding, that shouldn't be a thing. Now, as an advocate of the put fishing in every anime RPG movement, I'm contractually obligated to recommend the game. But as someone who also, actually played it, I think I enjoyed it more because I didn't try to play it all in one day. I popped in every few days and never got bored with it because of that. The game's like a grilled ham and cheese sandwich. If you had options, would you eat it every single day? Probably not. But is it enjoyable when you get it? For sure. Unless you somehow fuck your sandwiches up, at which point you just need to be institutionalized. Shinchan, Shiro, and the Coal Town is the kind of game I'd like to see more anime get. Something chill and cozy that you can really take your time with. But for these games to get a bigger market share, the right IPs need to push it. So it got me thinking, the best way to get more chill games like this would be if popular IPs took a crack at it. But which ones would be best suited for it? My Next Life is a Villainous may not be considered a big IP to a lot of people, but it got 2 seasons and a movie, so it's on the right track. It also has a key feature that can be exploited. Katarina loves farming. That's your opening for a story of season spinoff. Bandai tried it with Doraemon, so now it's time for Idea Factory to give it a shot with this endearing dumbass. As a superhero series, it can be very easy to compare Shai to My Hero Academia, but since Shai is actually a hero, while Deku got his license partway through the series, Shai has a bit more focus on the mundane side of hero work. We've seen Shai save her friends in her home multiple times, but we also get to see her do interviews and cosplay as a magical girl for a kids show. I'm not gonna let go of the A+ Arena Fighter dream just yet, but I think Shai has the best chance of making a cozy superhero game work. Frieren is tailor-made for a cozy game. Frieren's whole journey is to help her learn more about humans in the comparatively little time she'll have with them, so what better series is there to get a game where she can just hang out with her new party? A Frieren game has only 2 real options if it chooses not to adapt the story: a prequel or laziness and magic chores. One would probably be too expensive to justify doing it right, while the other might be funnier with the low-budget shenanigans. Now, the IP with the biggest chance of making it as a cozy game right now would probably be Eden Zero, because Shiki's goal, aside from finding Mother, is literally to be friends with everyone. No notes, that is the perfect setup. Anybody with a brain can make that work. There's one other series that has a perfect setup, but the execution would clash with what fans actually want. Fortunately for everyone, the fans are no longer in a position to complain and are in take it or leave it mode. So, let's talk about Naruto. Naruto has exactly one moment that would make the perfect cozy game: the lead up to Naruto and Hinata's wedding. For anyone who's been around at any point while a wedding is being planned, you know there's a lot that goes into it, and all of that can easily be made into a game, especially if CyberConnect 2 is involved. The Storm series already gave us a bunch of maps that can be repurposed for the game. Since the visuals are their strong point, we know it's going to look spectacular. If we need to spice up the game a bit, they can take what they learned from Sweep the Board to add better mini-games, and if they really need to add a boss battle, they can use that as a tech demo to pitch their next Naruto game. Slap together an updated moveset for Naruto and Hinata based on their current kit, focus on making it flashy and dynamic, and you're good. A little while ago, I said Spy Anya Operation Memories may be able to change the anime game landscape, but it's not going to be enough on its own. Shin-chan may help get the conversation going, but I don't think it'll be enough to really get the ball rolling. However, if those two can at least start a wide conversation, we may see something pop in a few years. Shin-chan Shiro in the Cold Town is out now for Nintendo Switch and Steam. Big shout out to JF Games for sending me a code. Now, if y'all will excuse me, I'm gonna go pester Neos until they put this on PlayStation.